This City of Light, A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira with artwork for the opening and thumbnail image by YANE on Pixiv. You can find a link to YANE's Pixiv in the description box. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment. If you aren't sure what to comment, put Study Abroad. Please enjoy This City of Light, Chapter 12. Adrien Agreste, Paris, France, the 12th of December. Something Adrien wrote down in his list of that guy energy, not to be confused with being that guy, was thinking of his friends when he went out and about. He thought he did an okay job before, but after thinking about Marinette's upcoming project, he picked up a few things for her. Another pair of fabric scissors so she could have a pair at school and one at home, fruit snacks for her gremlin snacking habits, and a large metal magnet. The number of times he'd heard her yelp from stepping on a pin was alarming, so he figured this would be an easy way to clean up the floor when she went to the bathroom or something. It'd be easier on them both. Of course, he was so nervous to go over that he was lightheaded, but that might be because he hadn't eaten, because of how nervous he was to stop by. It was a vicious cycle. A vicious cycle promptly ended by Tom Dupin crushing him into a hug before crushing a biscuit into his mouth. He said he was trying something new, but Adrien knew better. This was love. Adrien was loved. "I know an apology present when I see one," Sabine said, smiling at him over the counter. Okay, so maybe he shouldn't have put it all in a gift bag, but it didn't feel right to combine the three into something raggedy, and it's not like he didn't have brand after brand after brand of cute bags from PR packages. PR packages that Marinette loved opening more than he did, he might add. Just something to get her through the last day before we present is all. That's right, she needs you for final adjustments. It made sense, but she hadn't texted him or anything. Ouch. Well, then I'd better get up there. Make sure you wear your shoes. It's a bit of a... I know what you mean. Adrien chuckled at the comment. Buying this magnet was a good choice after all. Thanks for the heads up.
Come back with your head intact,
Tom joked. Adrien made his way up and into Marinette's room, stopping to observe as she muttered to herself, headphones on. It was endearing. It was adorable. He loved her. Got you something, he said, stomping his foot so she'd feel the vibrations. Huh? She bumped one ear off, turning to look at him, then removed the headphones. Adrien! That's what people call me. Oh, wow. Hi. Hello. Here. He held out the bag. Sugar and sharpness. What, did I miss a punk girl band's debut or something? That was a good one. I just figured these would help. He did his best to not look around at the mess. Oh, thanks. It was clear she felt a little awkward around him still, but at least it wasn't spiteful. Is it cool if I hang here for a bit? Oh, yeah, sure. She didn't pay attention to the bag and turned back to her work. Adrien's heart sank in response. This wasn't about him, but it still didn't feel good. Silence passed as Adrien finished a few more trials and marked a few more shrines in Breath of the Wild, but it wasn't their usual comfortable silence. Did you hear about the new movie coming out? Adrien tried when she took a step back, grumbling. About us? Yeah. Are you voicing yourself again? Believe me, I hear the irony too. didn't stop you from taking the role multiple times. I think the director just has an ear for these kinds of things, you know? Could have done a better job with the live-action remake 6 months back. You just didn't like the kiss scene. Between Ladybug and Hawkmoth? Ew, of course not. Wait. Adrien held up his hands as she glanced over. You're telling me you didn't seduce and then kiss Hawkmoth as a distraction to grab his Miraculous? Why do I feel like you're the one who suggested that plotline to the director? I plead the fifth. You're not American, she shot back, then stiffened. There it was. The elephant in the room. Somehow going to college abroad was a worse thing to talk about than a glorified fanfiction of her superhero Sana kissing their arch nemesis, who happened to also be his father, which was also ick on so many levels, but he'd chosen not to dwell on it. It's not like I'd leave right away, you know. I don't even find out if I got in for a couple of months. Right. Yeah, sorry. I'm still awkward with all of this. Me too. What made you do it? Apply abroad? Yeah. So she knew it wasn't just because it was the best program too then, huh? A new beginning. Without your partner? The question startled him, like a cat being told to not eat plastic. My partner, he looked at her project, has her own life. It feels strange to think of you not being here, she admitted, setting down her charcoal pencil and taking a seat beside him. I agree, to a point. But Florida? Yeah. What's even in Florida? I didn't even know it existed until a few hours ago. Disney parks, apparently. Be careful of the men there. Excuse me? I've read a lot about Florida men. Oh, okay. Make sure to send me pictures of frogs. Frogs? And crocodiles. You mean like the Peter Pan attraction? No, like they're gonna live in your backyard, apparently. You're kidding. And it's gonna get super hot, too. There's air conditioning. You're already talking like an American. At least they put screens on their windows so bugs don't fly in. She narrowed her eyes. So you're telling me you're gonna trade screenless windows for crocodiles and air conditioning? That way I don't have to voice act on a script where my partner kisses my father. Touché. She closed her eyes and set her head on his shoulder. We're still gonna go see all those Christmas lights, right? Why was that the question that made him remember how his sweater didn't fit him just right? You're acting like the school's gonna call me up tonight with a hearty dose of nepotism and put me on a plane tomorrow morning. She stilled. Is that why? Is that why what? Is that why you chose something in Florida? Because it's actually a place where your father's influence doesn't reach? He stayed quiet for a moment. A bit, yeah. It'd be one of the first times you'd be accepted for being you. I know. He chuckled at the idea, although I'm sure my accent will get me special privileges. Marinette lifted her head. You aren't planning to date anyone, are you? No. I'd hate to make someone go through an international relationship just because I was lonely. Good. She nestled her head into his shoulder and underneath his ear again, because that spotted partner of yours would get jealous. He smiled. Would she now? Yeah, you're studying abroad, not emigrating. You got that? Yes, my lady. She took his hand in hers and squeezed. Good. He couldn't see her face, but he could hear the tightness in her voice. When you're done with this, let's take a trip. I like the sound of that. Me too. You're paying for it. He laughed. Have you seen what tuition is like in the States? I may as well be bankrupt. I heard from Alia that you shouldn't let an ambulance take you to the hospital unless you've got cash to burn. Isn't that what ambulances are for? She shrugged. Beats me. Noted. I'll put that right next to looking up crocodile exterminators. Okay, Steve Irwin. Adrien gasped, straightening himself so Marinette had to lean away. Steve Irwin would never! And just like that, everything was right again. Adrien and his partner were back on speaking terms, and even though there was an elephant in the room, they'd addressed it. They may as well have named it, because it wasn't going away anytime soon, but at least they could look at it head on. A place where no one knew him. It was kind of exciting, actually. Like the day he slipped away from his father to start school. That was the day he got a Miraculous, too, and met Plague, and Marinette, and Ladybug. This was a good, exciting, bittersweet, but a good, exciting. Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 14 is on the way, and 13. Chapter 13 is on the way. I can do dates. I'll catch you in the next one. If you're still listening, comment bittersweet. Bye!